Hey guys, welcome back to our newest business series. This one is titled CEO Mindset. So we're kicking it off with Miss Rosanna. And she's going to be giving you guys some tips on how to make sure you run your business like a business. Most of us here are business owners. A lot of us, are just starting out, and some of us have been in business for a while. But we want to make sure that we're running our business with the right mindset. We're running our business like a business so we can, create credibility for ourselves and establish ourselves as the authority in our niche. So take it away.
All right. Hello, guys. Like she said, I'm Rosanna Drumgoole. My name I go by is Honey, the fairy godmother of structure. A little bit about my work history, just for validation. I think, with everyone starting their businesses online, people can fool you. But I do have over 15 years experience with configuration management. My actual titles, I'm a configuration management analyst. I deal with a lot of analytics, pretty much organizing government contracts. Um, Pricing, just to make sure that we are, if you're familiar with planning, like production planning, that's what I deal with. And just overall in my personal dealing with my actual own business, I have two sides to it. One where it's product based. We do t-shirts and logos, and the other side of my business, I do business coaching and branding kits. So I kind of have a very diverse background that I believe that has given me a lot of experience where I can help you set your business up correctly. The first thing, like I said, that we're going to be talking about this evening is planning. It's a fun one for me, but what I'm seeing for a lot of businesses, a lot of people like to start a business because of the cliche that we're seeing. We're seeing tons of sponsored ads. Like I said, we're in a lot of business groups just like this one. And we have people that are saying, go for it. But then you also have the naysayers that are saying don't. So that's why it's really crucial in the beginning for you to have a plan, because I personally believe, and it actually has been proven, when you don't plan, what they say, when you fail to plan, you kind of plan to fail. So planning is definitely a crucial part. The first thing that you want to do is when you're planning is understand what you're offering, but also understand who you're talking to. I mean, you don't want to go out here and try to sell sweets and then realize a lot of people on your timeline actually are diabetic, because that's not something that they're going to be interested in. So it's really key to understand. When I say this next one, you've heard it time and time again, but it is proven. Your friends and family are not going to make you rich. So the first thing I think about when you plan your business, be strategic in who you're going to offer it to. Know what your price points and things are going to be. Like, are your clients, are they high luxury intel? Are they government officials? Are they sports players and things like that? Because you want to understand who you're trying to talk to. Because then the second part of planning is figuring out, where are they? What I found out, and I can personally tell you just from dealing with a lot of CEOs, they are on Facebook. I mean, I am on Facebook a lot of times, but I'm usually here for fun and partial business. A good place that a lot of business owners have started going is LinkedIn, and some of your other apps that are out there. And I'll actually will put together, I just talked to Khadijah. I told her I will put a PDF together of a few other sites that you can go to actually start expanding your business. Because the first part about planning is, like I said, you got to know who you're talking to. You want to know where they are. And even once you know where they are, it's kind of like walking in a room at a networking event. Everyone walks in there, you kind of give that half grin, like, hi. And if you're bold, I'm bold. I will walk up to people. I don't have to know who you are. You either walk up and hand them your business card, or you drop it on the table and you keep going. You want to make sure that you have a plan to engage with your audience. Just like she has created this amazing business group for people like me and others that will come behind me to talk to you about business, you want to make sure that you have an actual defined plan that works for you. Now, key thing, I'm going to sit right there for a second. The reason why I'm stressing that you want to make sure that it works for you is because someone else, you might see them going live every day, but they may not fit into your schedule. I mean, we're all right now dealing with the pandemic. We all have time constraints. Khadijah knows, thank God she followed up with me when I actually had COVID about a month and a half ago. You do have people that have life situations going on. So you want to make sure that you know what your availability is when you're doing a business, because you don't. The worst thing I see a lot of new entrepreneurs do, they overexert themselves because this big plan that they have of, I want to be seven figures, I'm going to do this, and what it is, you start planning to do everything at once, and then usually after about 3 to maybe 6 months, you burn out. And then we don't see you again. And I don't like that, because I feel like if you had strategically planned out everything, you would have known, like, okay, I'm going to slowly implement this. I'm going to start my Facebook group. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on engaging. Then after you do your Facebook group, you might say, hey, I'm going to do a YouTube channel. I'm going to start my Shopify store, or was it Big Cartel? And there's a few other ones that are out there. So though that's why I said planning is my fun part, because it's really the necessary work that you need to create a steady foundation within your business or your brand. Um, Now, the second point I am going to hit is organization. A lot of people do this differently. Some people are visual. Some of your clients are going to be visual. With organization, it's pretty much creating a system that works for you. That is why I do believe, trainings like this are so important, because everyone right now is trying to sell like a one size fit all plan for everyone in their business. And that's not the case. I can tell you from personal experience, and I have paid for trainers, paid for coaches, taken a lot of trainings and classes. So I'm telling you from my own, like I said, life experiences and business. You want to make sure that this plan is actually tailored to you. So the key thing, even when you're listening to someone like me, you want to take away the things that benefit your business and brand. Um, the key thing with organization that I have seen, that where a lot of businesses have failed, is documentation. That's actually what I do for configuration management. I actually keep up with the documents for the companies that I work for. It keeps them out of jail, keeps them from having lawsuits. And that's actually the same thing that's in place for smaller businesses. A lot of times when we first start out, we don't keep our paperwork up. And I say we because I used to be guilty. We don't keep our paperwork up. We may not have a system to keep up with receipts. The worst one that I've seen lately is that some people are not creating business accounts for their business. So you're looking at this statement after you've been audited next year, because a lot of people did go for that SBA loan. You get audited and you got Chick-fil-A beside a business expense. It shouldn't be like that. You actually want to make sure that you have everything for your business aligned, down to keeping up with your financial, staffing, updates and things. If you have somebody that you brought on as a contractor to help you with your business, you want to make sure that you are using the proper paperwork to document when they started working with you and when they stopped. And I can tell you this, that's a vital one that a lot of people aren't doing, that is coming back to bite them in the rear. Because if you claim someone is an employee in your brand, you haven't organized the structure to keep up with your paperwork, you have no way of tracking it. It's your word against theirs. So you want to make sure that after you have this big plan in place, that you have a system in place to organize all the little pieces. That's why, when you're setting up a corporation, it's very vital to make sure you know who's in charge of what. So that organizational part right there of your business, I don't care if it's just you. I want you to sleep easy at night knowing that you have everything in order. And you don't, if it's not a daily thing, make it a weekly thing. It's all, the key thing about planning and organizing is just basically making a schedule for it. Like me, just to let you know a little bit about my personal, my husband works second shift, and it's like a swing shift. So it's like a every other weekend, and it's really weird, but it falls in a 2 week cycle. So a lot of things I do are in 2 week cycles. You have to make sure that you personalize that schedule to you. And then the key thing too is holding yourself accountable. You're going to get tired. Some nights you're not going to want to sit up and do it, but I'm going to tell you right now, it will pay off in the long run, because when you start getting into the part where you're executing your business plans, you'll start seeing how much easier it is when you start getting a lot of clients, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I set this system up, because now I know where my welcome packet is, because I have it organized on my Google Drive under welcome packet. I took the time to set that up. Now when this client gets to phase two, I know where those documents are, and then all of your surveys and things like that. And it seems like at first when you first start executing, you get those first few sales in business, it feels good. I mean, I'm telling you, I remember when I first started, I started with MLM. I didn't actually start with my own business at first. When I first got those first few clients and sales and they kept coming back every month, it felt so good. But then after a while, I started thinking, okay, this person's with me for 3 months. Then if you don't hear from them, what was my system in place for me to follow up with them? Not the one that that company gave me, but because you're building a brand around yourself, because you are your brand. And if no one else has told you that, you are what people see first, whether it's your Facebook or you're your brand. You embody what you want to be around you, but you're also embodying what you want to attract. And when you're executing that stuff, you want to make sure that you have something in place, not only to keep up with your clients as you're getting them, but when they start strailing away, you want to know, okay, do I have an email system put in place where I'm gonna say, hey, I haven't heard from you. Uh, are you gonna create engagement posts or things on your page? That's if you're using social media, which you should be for your business. And overall, in general, I'm gonna be honest with you, pick up the phone. I have found out, and this is just a little nugget, with the pandemic, it has changed everything that comes down to execution. A lot of people used to throw an ad up, you get a lot of people, you get your emails, it's the same thing, right? I actually have had more repeat clients by just picking up the phone during the pandemic. The reason being is, one, a lot of people are at home by themselves. They're in this, like what you see here, this is my office, this is where I work. A lot of people want to feel like they're a part of something. They also want to know that they matter. I see a lot of posts where people are saying, they feel like they don't matter. People aren't commenting or liking. So if you're that one person that picks up the phone and says, hey, I'm just calling to check in on you, make sure that you're good, no intent, just making sure, they're going to talk to you. And what you're going to do as a business owner, because this is that execution again, you're going to listen to what their pain points are. And then, of course, if you have that marketing skill, the gift of gab, as some people call it, you'll know what they need. You'll know if your services are wanted for them. Because a lot of times people don't know they want your services, or let me rephrase it, they don't know that they need your services until you explain it to them. So you want to make sure that in part of executing things in your business, that you are listening for those pain points when you're talking to these people, and then you can offer them, hey, this is what I have a solution for that, or this is what worked for me, or this is what worked for one of my clients. So like I said, it's really, it all flows together smoothly when you properly plan everything out, you organize it and create a system that works for you. Keyword, create a system that works for you. So if you don't get nothing else from that part, make sure it works for you, not your buddy down the street, not your best friend, not the people online. Make sure that it works for you. And then, like I said, execute. Just know that when you put your foot, down and you're like, hey, this is what I'm going to do, hold yourself accountable. Come to the groups, contact Khadijah, contact me. People like us will definitely help keep you on track with your business and your brand. So, like I said, I've kind
When
of
she
talked there
said
for a
this
little
is
bit.
great,
Go ahead.
I wanted to read off one of the comments that she was saying that is great info, and everybody is agreeing with what you're saying. And it's important that people be organized. And like you said, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. If you already have your documents under your Google Drive and you're preparing for the major shift in your business, you won't be caught behind. I see posts a lot of times where somebody goes viral and they can't keep up with the demands of the order because they weren't prepared, and they aren't organized. So I think it's super important what you're saying.
hmm like I said, when I started MLM. So, and I think a lot of us probably have done it at one point in time or another in our, careers here as entrepreneurs. And the one thing that I got from a lot of my millionaire, and one of them actually, she's multi-millionaire coach now. They told me, be ready, stay organized, and they told me to always have my documentation in place. And I was wondering where that was coming from, because she knew my background and like my work history. But like you said, when you go viral, and been around people that have went viral in their businesses, it takes off so quick. And if you don't already have the logistics and things in play, or at least know where to turn, it can be overwhelming. But not only that, you could end up ruining your brand, like she said, just all because you're not ready for it. So the key word here I'm gonna have to say is scale big. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
go out and get the most expensive plan on, what is it, Shopify or Calendly, because there are a lot of free options that are out there for you to start. But you want to make sure that you have some things in place to think, okay, what if I do go viral this holidays? Who do I need an assistant? I mean, I'm telling y'all, I actually am on the verge of needing to hire 2 people right now just because I can't keep up with the whole load of everything. So you want to start thinking, even though I'm here now, where will I be in 6 months or a year? Or where do I want to be? And another thing too, know how much money you want to make in your business, and I'm talking about outside of your profits, outside of your expenses that you're putting out to replenish the things. What is that number that you need to feel good in your business, and work towards that? That's how I accomplish a lot of my goals, because I set small ones. I said in 3 months I want to bring in 1,500. Okay, another 3 months from now, I want to bring in 4,000. And I just kept bumping it up and bumping it up. And that way I have something to work towards. So if you're like a competitive person and you feel like I have to have an end goal, set one. Because I know some people, they're like, they wake up and if they don't have a plan, they just can't function. Particularly some of my military friends that are used to having things laid out for them. Set a plan in place for yourself. I mean, shoot, and if you really want some accountability, post it in the group. Say, hey guys, I mean, I don't think anybody would mind. Say, hey, this is my accountability post. I want to do this and I'm going to accomplish this within 3 months or 6 months. That way, not only are you holding yourself accountable, but people will rally behind you, because I'm telling you right now, I get a lot more of my support from strangers, people I've never met, never put my hands on, but they are there for me. And I have to say this, I do trust them because they have not burned me. And like I said, we're just a family, we're a circle, and we get it. I know when you're talking to your family and your friends, sometimes they don't quite understand. I mean, they it's not nothing against them. It's just they think at a smaller scale. They see the beginning when you say you're going to start, and then they see the Rolls Royce later. That's what I'm really starting to see with people. It's like that gray area where we in the middle, struggling, losing it, trying to balance things out. Things are going good, they go bad, they go back to good. That whole area there, you need a circle of people around you that understand your struggle and can help and support you during that time frame. And like I said, if you're here and you're watching this live for any reason, you definitely are in the right place. So
Yeah, that's true. I
anybody
know a lot of times.
question?
Well, we have some
Um,
comments. LaShawn said that she was talking about organizational skills. She said it used to suck, and she lost so much, and she learned a valuable lesson that she
mhm.
went viral twice.
Yep.
And I just, like what you said about the people supporting you. A lot of times, people are so frustrated. Nobody is supporting me. Well, you have to get out of
I
that
see that
circle.
all the
That
time. People are
circle.
screaming, I want support. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you're looking for it in the wrong place. Sometimes your timeline, and correct me if I'm wrong, Khadijah, I don't know if you did this with yours, but I had to clear out my family and friends from
Mm-hmm.
mine. I actually have a whole nother page. I mean, some of them are still on my main page that I use now, but I have a whole nother page for them because they weren't understanding the business post. And then when I would do like a money post, it was like, oh shoot, I forgot this cousin's in here. Now they're hitting me up for cash.
Yeah.
So so it was like, okay, I had to kind of tailor my audience. Like again, what I talked about in the beginning about planning and execution. You got to know who you're talking to, because I mean, if you're trying to sell, you know, candy, like I was talking about the candy or the sweets earlier to a diabetic, they're gonna look at you like, I can't buy those. But I can buy some jewelry, or
Right.
some clothes or shoes or something. So you just want to make sure that you have your audience tailored to who you want to sell to
I
and
try to
engage
talk
with them.
about that a lot. I have a debate with a couple of the girls in the group about knowing who you're talking to. Like, okay, you sell 30 different products, and I get that, but you can't sell 30 products all at one time. You're going to have a hard time. You'll end up selling three products for $5 when you may could sell, three products for $100 if you're talking to the right person. You're working
Right.
too hard. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
correct.
Like, and if you, I don't know, it's just like you said, the people that are around you, I think, like when I first introduced you, it's all about credibility and authority. Your family and friends don't think you have the authority to talk about the things that you're talking about. They don't believe that you
Auntie
are
that
who
used to
you are.
babysit you, she looking at you
Right.
like,
I
mm-mm,
remember
girl,
when I
please.
first started doing hair. I don't know if my mom is on here or not, but I remember when I first started doing hair, I was going to people like, hey, let me do your hair. I'll do your locks for $10. And my mom was not my first customer, believe it or
Correct.
not. You know what I mean? Like I had to work, get clients, and then she, got on board. So, I mean, I
You know
used
what
to
the key word
take
is?
offense to
Value.
it. Yeah.
It's value.
Yeah.
A
I
lot
used
of
to be
people don't
offended, but
find that
now I'm like,
value. Yeah, I get it. Trust me, I'm just now, and I've been coaching now for about I started right after I got here to Atlanta. So it's been about 4 years. Um, I'm just now starting to get like family and friends to hit me up for stuff. They know I edit documents. They know, I proofread. They know I do graphics and things. They've seen it all, but they're just now starting to message me like, "Hey, can you do this for me?" They're like, "I saw the last one you put out or something," and like, a key to like what you were saying about the 30 products. I do a lot of different things. I don't market them all on my page. There are some like packages I will never post to Facebook just because I know who's there and where my ideal client is. There are some I just post on LinkedIn. Why? Because I know a person that is going to pay 500 and I know a person that's going to pay 5,000. They may not be the same. And
mm-hmm.
that's one key thing there. People are like, how in the world do you sell a $5,000 package? I'm like, because this person over here doesn't have the time to do what this person that is going to pay 500 does. This person over here is going to pay 5,000 is because they need their stuff done in maybe 2 weeks. They want to know that it's done right, and they're like, "Look, I'm paying for it's the value." So again, like I said, just know where your audiences are, and that does take some research. I mean, I don't care. You can have the best of coaches in all, but it's all about how you market to them. And the reason I'm saying this is because in the beginning part of my coaching, um, entrepreneurship here, I was kind of coaching some people along and kind of doing like I guess you could say like a three-way call with some of them. And I didn't want those people to get connected to the way I marketed on behalf of them. So you want to make sure that you're doing your own marketing so people can connect with you. Even though it's an introduction, make sure that if, say, like you said, somebody that goes viral and they say, hey, you do the same thing as me, can I send people your way? Make sure that you're prepared for that as well. I've had that happen too. Make sure that you're prepared to market yourself separately from what they've seen, but let them know that you are credible enough to still provide a good service.
And LaShawn said they're paying for value and experience. And something
Mm-hmm.
else I've seen too is like with your family and friends, they've seen you work for, three MLM companies. They've seen you sell t-shirts, now you sell sneakers, now you sell makeup, now you sell Tracy Lynn, now you're doing paparazzi, now you're like, I'm a business coach. And so they're like, okay, they're not really sold on what you're doing. So once you either like you said, clear your list or just create different pockets to market to the people, so you're not doing everything on your page.
Another thing
Your
too, you
family
don't
and friends
always
will
have to
be
be the
around.
face of your brand.
Yeah.
I think I, I mean, and I'm not knocking anybody, so please don't nobody take offense when I say this part. I don't knock anybody with the logos with the faces in it, but I have heard from a couple of branding strategists, unless you want those brands to be your main brand, it's sometimes best if you don't market your face and yourself in those brands. Like I have brands that are out there that are literally just a link and it's all word of mouth. And then I have some that I get on Facebook and talk about, and I have some that like I said, I go to LinkedIn. So you kind of got to decide what your business model is for each part of your business, because as you expand, you are going to want to do more things. I mean, like for instance, my girl that's she does my locks here in Atlanta. She's a celebrity stylist, and she's having to split certain things, and certain people she work with have to split up certain things. Like they may act, but they may have a clothing line, they may have a makeup line. They're not going to market all that in one. So you want to kind of have a plan there of how to market different things when you're doing them in your business, because you want multiple streams. I think we all can attest to that.
Yep.
So yeah. So anybody got any questions for me? Let me see if I can click on the comments. Are you able to see it?
Yeah, I've been reading them off.
Okay, all right, cool. And like I said, I got the PDF in the group. If you want to print that out, just and jot down some notes. Like, if you don't do it right now, but you can jot them down in your business and just start thinking about ways that you can plan. Like I said, organize and execute, and write them down. I mean, I believe a lot of times we keep stuff in our head and then we forget it, and then you're like, oh my gosh, what was it? I would hate for you to lose an idea just because you didn't write it down. So definitely take advantage of that.
And how can they contact you, and what services do you offer exactly so they know what to reach out to you for?
Okay, well, it's two sides. The main business I'm focusing on right now is Designs by Big B and Honey. We offer branding kits for our clients, and those consist of social media graphics like your banners, your frames for your profile picture. We also do, besides that, we actually do websites. I don't build them from scratch, but a lot of people don't know how to work Shopify or Big Cartel or Wix and what's the other one, WordPress. So we actually do set those up for clients, and we do custom apparel as well. And normally, what I offer to most clients once they do the complete one of my larger packages, they get like a gift set and it has all that stuff in there. It's customized to your brand with your logo and stuff. So that's what we offer, just custom apparel and branding kits is primarily what I'm focusing on. And you can reach me through Facebook. I have a Facebook like page, which is Designs by Big Me and Honey. And I also have the Calendly link if you like to just book a consultation. If you got some questions or you're just like, hey, I just want to run something past you real quick, that's what that consultation is for. We can kind of go over some basic tips there, because it could be just you hit like a roadblock and it just might be something simple. And I'm like, hey, do this, and bam, you're done. It's no need for you to have like a long drawn out program to complete when it's just a simple 2 or 3 steps. So that's what we offer. That's how you can contact me. And I do look forward, like I said, to engaging more in the group and also hearing from you. So anything else you'd like me to add?
No, thank you so much. So hopefully they'll reach out to you and contact you, and that's it. Thank you so much. So next
You're
week,
welcome.
we're going to have someone else finish up our CEO mindset series. If you guys have any questions or anything that you want to see, just hit me up. Let me know. My inbox is always open. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.